Good day to you all, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on Sim Broadcast for the MRC E-Challenge 2026 season, Round 5, the finale at the beautiful Norisring circuit. I'm joined in the booth today by Adal Joshkin. Karen Redman is indisposed this evening, will not be able to join us, but we will have Peter Butcher joining us in the commentary booth a little bit later on, hopefully during the sprint race. Adal, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Travis. Nice to be back.
And we've got an exciting event on deck today, because though Imran Azar does have the championship lead going into this final round, he is not participating today. So everything to play for Carlos Macioidis, or even Nico Patola could sneak in and grab a championship with the points on offer today, should Carlos Macioidis have some misfortune today. There you can see the schedule for this season. Again, today, round 5 at the beautiful Norisring track mod by Tutu the dog. Got some interesting facts and information to share about that a little bit later. 5 rounds, 2 weeks apart, finally concluding here today, March 22nd, in just a few minutes' time. And hopefully we'll see another, maybe we'll see a 2027 season with even more interesting layouts, track mods. We'll talk to Michael about that later as we wrap things up. We'll take a look at the championship points. Once again, Imran Azar on top with 185 points, 10 points clear of Carlos Macioidis. Carlos driving today, Imran Azar not. So certainly looks as though Carlos Macioidis is in the driver's seat, pun intended, to take a championship in E-Challenge. Nico Patola, a long shot for Nico, but very much in the hunt should misfortune befall Carlos Macioidis. And we do have a few more participants today than we have had in the past. Adam Brown joining. Haven't seen him the entire season, and we know Adam's competitive. So could see some shaking up at the top. Nico there in third place, Cyril Basset in fourth, Gerard Fornielis Flores in fifth. Gabber bailed out of the championship a few rounds ago. 6 points, sixth position with 98 points. Will not be reprising his championship at the end of this season. Roni Krampush, Timo Sarkinen, Pika Sarkinen, and Klimchuk Magic round out the top 10. Teus Loango, Stephen Martin, Yasin Badal, Baptiste Soisa, Pedro Vitor, 11th through 15th, Gabriel De Rosa in 16th, Pablo Saitone, Vitalis Lagutskas, who looked competitive in the first round and then threw in the towel down there in 18th position. Elder Kodrich in 19th. Yunus Jamaz rounds out the top 20. I believe we have one driver, yes, on minus 9 points. Andre Koso in 21st and last position in the Drivers' Championship. Take a look at the team standing next. Yes Motorsports will be at the tip top on the back of Carlos Macioidis. His performance is 316 points. About 70, that's, let's do the arithmetic really quick. That's 75 points clear of Team Citus in second, Zafaralis in third ahead of Master Race Car, Race Green Autosports, Optivo in sixth. Why Electric is really difficult. Electric is really challenging. In seventh position, SM Racing, FSR Team, Cruising Street Racers there in 10th position. And final, the 11th spot, Jordan. I don't believe that's Jordan Grand Prix. I think they made this joke the last time out. 0 points there in 11th position in the team's championship. And before we get going with qualifying in the background, the clock has started, but drivers not yet admitted to the racing surface. Should see them out in just a moment. Here you can see the track. 6 turns, a couple of them dubious turns. That sharp, the iconic Norisring hairpin down there in Turn 1, the S curves at turns 2 and 3 onto the back straight, a kink at Turn 4 with the very high curbing going into another hairpin Turn 5 right after the second sector timing line, and then this fast kink Turn 6, this very long straight all the way down to Turn 1. And Adal, you have some thoughts to share with us about just what makes this particular track, though there are only a few corners, what makes it challenging for electric cars.
Yeah, thank you, Travis. So today we will give a small analysis for the Master Race Cars E-Challenge 2026 final round, the Norisring. The track we have today does not have many corners, but coming out of those corners, there's long straights. So the drivers today will want to have great exit speeds over the entry speed. And we may see that some drivers braking extra early to maximize their exit speeds. Also, today's track is very flat, unlike the other circuits that we had this season, like the first 3 rounds. But since it's a generally flat circuit, we will see a lower suspension setups on the grid today. Lastly, it's a lot easier to lock up your tires at today's track, so I imagine tire management will come in handy towards the end of the race. And this is our analysis for today.
Thank you very much, Adal. Great analysis as usual. The analysis has become a little bit of a meme for us, and I think we had a good chuckle about. Well,
Yeah.
obviously the analyses are good, but we had some great ideas around doing even more analysis in future events, and we'll welcome Adal to bring us those. So hope you all enjoyed those and look for more in the future. Finally, today's cars. We've got two variations of the E-Challenger EVO car, as we have cars starting flying laps in the background. We'll pick that up in just a second. The first variation, fully electric, 51 kilowatt hour, about 469 brake horsepower used in the qualifying and sprint races, all-wheel drive. And then we go to rear-wheel drive only for the feature race. Same amount of power. And then, obviously, these cars get a 14% power boost when they go through the attack zone. They need to use the attack boost zone once in the sprint race and then twice during the feature. Right now, dry on track. Don't have any implications from the weather like did in the previous event. Clear in qualifying right now. And I, myself, am following Carlos Machioidis, who is about to cross the line, I believe, to finish a flying lap. I think we picked him up right when we started looking at the cars, and he is now across the line, second position, 45.785, as we watch Adam Brown jump out of the way for that purple number, I believe that's number 45, the scene of Yasin Badal, who gets out of the way himself. Might have ducked into pit lane because he disappeared. Adam Brown coming across the line now to, looks like he is starting a flying lap. So, yeah, picked up Adam Brown, who goes wide of the apex in the hairpin. Now looking at Carlos Machioidis, who has already set a timed lap, just a tenth behind Yasin Badal in the top spot. Carlos hard on the brakes, missing those very high curbs. Rear of the car, getting away. And that looked like it might have been a telepit from Carlos Machioidis. It was indeed. Now we pick up Adam Brown once again. You can see the very slight undulations in the track surface in the background looking at the painted lines. Green car jumping out of the way. That is magic. Has moved out of Adam Brown's way to let him start or complete a flying lap. Adam coming through at the final kink now. Keep the car nice and tight. What's to miss this barrier on the left side of the track? Dangerous barrier there. Any contact as Adam Brown goes, well, it would have been quickest. Just 1/100th quicker than Yasin Badal, but Gerard Fornieles at the top. A second and a half clear. No, sorry, that is a 4/10 clear of Adam Brown in second position. I was saying that wall there on the left, very dangerous. In the open practice earlier, I saw Magic make just the slightest contact with another driver, and the rear of the car started to step away. Had he not regained control of the car, it would have pitched him head on into that wall and been a catastrophic collision with the concrete. As we watch Magic now on the brakes into this hairpin, over the yellow line, close to the wall, power down very nicely, no wheel spin as he navigates the kink here, keeping it not as tight as other drivers have been, giving up a little bit of time, not shortening the track as much as he could. Mika Sarkkinen crossing the line behind Magic in ninth position, 1.7 seconds off the lead. As we now look to Yuris Jamaz coming out of, I believe that is the final hairpin. It is coming out of the final hairpin through the kink and way out wide to the right side of the racetrack. Our left on camera. Yuris Jamaz across the line. It does not improve, still down there in 12th position. One of the Sarkkinens, Teemu Sarkkinen, coming out of the final hairpin now and through the kink. 0 seconds left on the clock, so these drivers only get 2 flying laps. Any drivers on track now will be completing their laps. Mo telling me in the ear that the clock on the broadcast is actually incorrect as Teemu Sarkkinen goes wide into the attack boost zone. We'll see if we can fix that. There we go. Got the clock fixed now. It accurately reflecting real time. 5 minutes remaining. So we look at Adam Brown now in second position, coming through the final hairpin, and this appears to be a flyer. So this will be the second of Adam Brown's timed laps out of the final hairpin, tight to the wall on the left. Nice and tight, just missing that dangerous-looking barrier on the left side of the racetrack. Camera right, Adam Brown does not, he does slightly improve, but not enough to take the top spot. Carlos Machioidis just going ahead of Adam Brown, crossing the line right behind him. Now, 1/10 of a second off Gerard Fornieles, who is still sitting at first position, and I believe he's got one more timed lap to give. Nico Patola using plenty of rotation to try to get the car around the final hairpin, and now he's taking a nice wide line into the pits. So Nico Patola waving off if that was a fly lap, he's chosen to wave it off. Looks like it was an out lap from Nico Patola. Gabriel De Rosa coming through the S curves. Now the rear of the car snaking all over the place, trying to pitch the rear of the car into the wall there. And now De Rosa coming into turn, we'll call this turn 5, the final hairpin. Nice wide entry on the power early. So this will be the beginning of a flying lap for De Rosa. One of the many MRC drivers. I believe they have 5 drivers in this event. De Rosa crossing the line to begin his final flying lap now. Beautiful onboard view, looking over his left shoulder. Full throttle all the way up to the 100-meter board. Nice rotation into the corner, a little bit too much. Gets the power down ever so slightly into the wheel spin, right side touching the wall just barely. Now hard on the brakes once again, 100-meter board, tight to the wall on the right. Beautifully done. Nice rotation into the left-hander, a little bit of understeer, but gets the power down nicely all the way out to the wall and over that concrete tiling. Now get to the center of the racetrack to open up this kink. Hard on the brakes once again, missing these very high curves right at the 100-meter board. And, oh, that's a driver trying to get a launch. I couldn't tell who that was, getting a launch out of the final corner to start a flying lap. I don't think it would have impacted De Rosa that badly, but it certainly gave him a scare. De Rosa comes across the line, improves 1 position up to 46.0 seconds. So unfortunate for Gabriel De Rosa. I don't think that was going to be the difference between 7th or 8th and 1st position. So we watch Mika Sarkkinen now coming through the first of these S curves, the right-hander of the Schuler S, and now the left, the rear of the car, just trying to step away from him. It gets the power down pretty cleanly, looking to improve from 10th position in the standings right now. Missing plenty of respect given to the curbing on the right side of the racetrack, and then a nice brake locking. Managed to get the car stopped. Now on to the left side of the racetrack under the yellow line through the kink. Someone smoking the brakes badly in the foreground. That was Fornielis lighting up the brakes going to turn 1 after he finished a flying lap. And Mika Sarkkinen doing the same after he crossed the line, does not improve. Roni Krampusch now winding up a flying lap with 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Roni already has set 1. He's in 9th position, 46.0 seconds, about 9/10 off the lead. Gerard Fornielis in 1st position. Roni Krampusch didn't look like he intentionally went for the attack boost zone there, but through it he went anyway. Nice overhead shot, looking at Roni jumping on the brakes at the 100-meter board. Misses the apex on the left side. Our left, his right side of the racetrack in the first part of the S. A lot of understeer on the exit, way off to the left side of the racetrack to open up the kink here. Hard on the brakes, looking down over his red and green helmet. Now bonk right into the curb.
That's unfortunate.
A little bit, yeah, that is unfortunate. A little bit too much rotation, and then he just bounced the nose of the car right off the sidewalk there. So Roni now does a pirouette across the line. Very stylish. Didn't impede anyone. Looked great on the camera. Not an improvement, but that was certainly fun to watch. Timo Sarkkinen now into the hairpin for looks like he's starting a flying lap, going way wide and getting the power down early so he can carry as much speed as possible.
Sorry to interrupt you, Terrace, but I think the locking ups prove my analysis were correct about this track.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're carrying so much more speed in qualifying than they would at any other track because this straight is so long. If they're just a little bit too late on the brakes, you're absolutely right. It's easy to carry all that extra speed and dump it right into the tires.
It is
locking up.
The E-Challenge car is already really easy to lock up, and this track you want to brake while turning your car at the same time. So it is so easy to lock up your tires, and it shows by the qualifying laps.
Yeah, it does. Timo Sarkkinen doing a great job using the rear of the car, rotating it through the Schuler S, now through the Dutzendijk curve, and out of the final corner through the kink, staying close to the yellow line, make the racetrack as short as he possibly can. It looked quick in the first half of the lap, but no improvement for the number 69 machine at Timo Sarkkinen. Time has run out in the on the clock. And looking to see if there are any other drivers on track. I believe Timo Sarkkinen was the last one. So everyone across the line, Timo Sarkkinen, last driver to set a flying lap, only good enough for 7th position. At the tip top, Gerard Fornielis on 0 minutes, 45.154 seconds. Carlos Macioidis poised to take a championship, about 2/10 behind in 2nd position. Adam Brown, Yasin Badal, Nico Patola round out of the top 5. Well, there we go. It was
interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. Not uneventful, but a slightly more relaxing qualifying session than
Yeah.
we're used to.
And you
Everybody
forgot
got pretty
something,
well spread
Travis.
out.
Do you
Yeah.
know what it is?
No, I don't. Go
We
for it.
forgot the predictions.
Oh well, we haven't. Yeah, we
Yeah.
get to predictions before the sprint race. We're not quite ready for predictions. Look at the standings here out of qualifying, or we'll just look at the MRC E-Challenge round 5. There we go. Now we got the qualifying results. Once again, Gerard Fornielis on pole position for the sprint race, 45.154 seconds, ahead of Carlos Macioidis in second position, Adam Brown third, Yasin Bidal is fourth, Nico Patola also within a prayer of a championship today in fifth position. Cyril Basset is in sixth, Timo Sarkinen in seventh, De Rosa in eighth, Ronan Krampusch ninth, Mika Sarkinen rounds out the top 10 ahead of Magic in 11th. The number 47, I believe this is a new driver, Ian Ma. From Hong Kong. I don't believe we've seen Ian in the previous 4 rounds. So good showing from Ian Ma today to start in 12th position ahead of Yunus Damaz in the number 23 machine. Sorry, the number 23 machine in 13th position. Everyone inside the 107%. So we'll have 13 cars taking the start in the sprint race. All right, that does it for qualifying. We'll take a short break while we get the grid set, do the driver's briefing for the sprint race, and we will have that coming up in a few minutes. Once again, this is the MRC E-Challenge final round, round 5, the 2026 season at the Norisring mod by Tutu the Dog. We'll be back in just a moment. We have returned here on Sim Broadcast for round 5 of the 2026 season of the MRC E-Challenge. Once again at the beautiful Norisring track mod today by Tutu the Dog. I am Travis Mehlinger here with the dull Joshkin today. Kieran Redman absent, but Peter Butcher will be joining us in the booth a little bit later on. And before we get into the sprint race, got a few things to talk about. First, Dull Championship. You had some thoughts to share.
Yeah, the championship battle is really close. We might have leaders right now, but for the third place, for the team championship and the fourth place, it is really close. And we want to see the drivers really driving carefully. They were really dangerous. They were not dangerous, but they were driving aggressively in the last few rounds, and they costed them a lot of points. But in the final round, they want to slow down a little, keep their heads up. Yeah. What about you, Travis?
Yeah, I agree. I think Carlos Macioides, all he has to do is he just needs to be smart. He drove so well in the fourth round, especially in the inclement weather. He put on a masterclass of driving in the rain, was brilliant in the sprint, and then in the feature race managed to get a lead over Imran Azar, and then just the tiniest mistake late in the running locked the brakes going into, I can't remember the number of the corner, but coming off that long back straight, the left-hander into the right-hand hairpin, he locked the brakes, went wide into the runoff area, and Imran Azar was able to get by and take those points. But Imran Azar absent today, so all of those points are on offer for Carlos Macioides. He just needs to stay out of trouble, do well in the sprint race. He started with the front row, so shouldn't be much of a challenge for him to take a good haul of points in the sprint. And then in the final, he's done so well coming from further back on the grid after we do the reversal for the final. He needs to do the same thing. Yep, needs to do the same thing today, haul those points, and he will be champion. But should misfortune befall him, Nico Patola is there waiting in the wings. He could snap up a lot of points and might just have a championship in reach. There you can see Imran Azar at the top of the standings, but he will gain no points today. Imran Azar will finish the season with 185 points, 10 points ahead of Carlos Macioides. Once again, looking for a championship today. They're in second position. Nico Patola in third. Cyril Bisset. I believe Cyril is a little bit too far out. But it's not over until it's over. Gerard Fornielis on the pole position for the sprint race today. They're in fifth. For the team's championship, Adal, I feel like Yes Motorsports have it pretty well locked up.
Yeah, but there's a great fight for the third position with the MRC. So.
That is a fact. So
we have many drivers from MRC today, but they have been driving aggressively, and they actually forgot to use their speed boost. So they were disqualified. So if that doesn't happen again, they may secure the third position today.
Yeah, I believe you are correct. We have drivers on the grid now, just about ready to do our grid presentation. Michael Malik in our presentation car. And here we go for the final time, the final sprint race of the 2026 MRC E-Challenge season. We do not have Gerard Fornielis on pole position. We've got Carlos Macioides there on pole position, so not sure what happened there. If there was a penalty, we missed it. So Carlos Macioides on a pole position. Alongside will be Adam Brown starting second. Yasin Bidal in the number 45 machine will start third alongside Nico Patola in the number 87, driving for Yes Motorsports this season. They're in fourth. Cyril Bisset promoted from 6th to 5th alongside Roni Kronpush. So that's one of the Sarkkinens. Timo Sarkkinen got moved further back. The next Sarkkinen, Mika Sarkkinen, will start in 7th position ahead of Magic in 8th. Ian Ma promoted all the way up to 9th position alongside Eunice Dermaz in the number 23. Gerard Fornielis all the way back to 11th position with Timo Sarkkinen alongside in 12th. And at the very back of the grid, we have MRC driver DeRosa in the number 7, just ahead of the course car driven by Jonathan Palmer. So, missed a bit of information there. We will check on that as we get the race underway. Looking down at the grid now for the start, Carlos Macioides in the catbird seat will lead them away. 5 seconds until the red lights come on, and then until the first red light comes on. And then we will send all of these drivers piling into this first hairpin after a long and fast run. And there we go. Lights are out. We didn't see them on the broadcast, but Carlos Macioides lead cars away. Adam Brown already strung out behind, but 3 wide for 4th, 5th, 6th position. Now 3 wide into the hairpin. Adam Brown going around the outside of Carlos Macioides. Carlos gets better power on the way out of order. Now cars getting strung out single file in the background. Everybody through cleanly out of turn 1, and now down through turns 2 and 3, the Schuler S. Carlos Macioides a little bit further away from Adam Brown now, a gap further back to Yasin Bidal, and then Roni Kronpush all the way up to 4th position. Great start for Roni. And now we've got a bit of a scrap coming into the final quarter. That looked like, let's see, back of start grids for 7:22.69, unauthorized spectating. So we did see one of those drivers telepit during qualifying. That is why they were demoted to the very back of the grid. And now, first lap of asking is done. Adam Brown comes sailing by Carlos Machioides into the first corner. And this may be experience versus inexperience at all. Adam Brown using all that energy to go flying by into the first corner. And once again, Carlos Machioides just has to conserve and be smart, take a good haul of points, and he will be champion.
Yeah, I was not expecting Adam Brown to be this good at the start of the race. I haven't seen him race at the other rounds, but when he came to this round, he was already fast in the practice sessions, and I am not actually surprised, to be honest.
Yeah, and Adam, I think we've seen Adam struggle a little bit, really tight on energy in the past as a car that's an MRC machine. Can't tell, don't see the number on that car. That, I believe that may have been Fornielis. Looked like the rear brakes locked up. The car was fully sideways going into the corner. Didn't look like he intended to make an aggressive dive, but managed to keep the car under control. Looking to the front of the grid, everyone's still one attack boost remaining. They do need to use that one attack boost sometime during the event. There will be a penalty if they do not use it. Adam Brown leads Carlos Machioides ahead of Yasin Badal. Roni Krampusch in fourth. Brilliant start from him once again. Nico Patola there in fifth with Mika Sarkkinen in sixth. So we follow Nico Patola chasing Roni Krampusch coming into this second of two hairpins on the circuit. And there's another pass for position behind that is Gerard Fornielis going by Mika Sarkkinen. Brakes locking somewhere ahead. That was either Roni or Nico Patola. And all these drivers now strung out single file close at the front, but the leaders, Adam Brown and Carlos Machioides, gapping Yasin Badal, who is there in a comfortable third position. Looking all the way to the very back, that is Magic with Ian Ma in his slipstream, and now Ian Ma looking to pass on the outside. Coming into the first corner, looked like a little bit of contact coming into the first hairpin. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Looked like I think Magic was making sure he avoided contact, locked up the rear brakes, and just got it looped around and nosed into the barrier into the first corner.
He released his brakes like too quickly, and it made his real wheel spun.
Yeah, easy mistake to make. So here we go, single file into the final corner. Getting further spread out ahead, Carlos Machioides just does not seem bothered by Adam Brown running in the lead at all. He can afford to sit behind. I believe he's a little bit out of slipstream range. As they run, we begin lap 5. Adam Brown from Carlos Machioides, Yasin Badal. Nico Patola has the fastest lap of the race. He's gotten past Roni Krampusch. You can see Roni back to 5th position with Nico a little bit further up the road. Cyril Basset has just gotten through Mika Sarkkinen. A nice pass coming into the first hairpin. Gabby DeRosa there in 9th ahead of Timo Sarkkinen, Yunus Damas, Ian Ma. That nice pass on Magic, though Magic lost the Magic made it easy for him by losing the rear of the car going into the first hairpin. Good showing from Ian Ma in his what I believe is his first E-Challenge event. And now Gerard Fornielis making up more positions. He was on the provisional pole before he was demoted all the way to the back of the grid, or near the back of the grid, for telepitting during the qualifying session. And now he is all the way up to 5th position, driving away from Cyril Basset behind him, though I have to believe this is coming at great cost to his energy reserve.
Yeah, I think so as well. He's been driving very quickly, but yeah, it comes at a cost.
And we will see those energy figures a little bit later on, not quite 1/4 of the way through the race, about the 1/3 mark, maybe lap 8 or 9. We'll take a look at the energy. Roni Krampusch sideways all the way through the first corner of the Schuler S. That was incidental contact. Roni certainly didn't intend to do that. I think he was barely hanging onto the car while it was flying sideways on as Timo Sarkkinen now looks under. Is that Timo Sarkkinen who has gone by Roni Krampusch? No, that is Cyril Basset ahead of... No, that's an MRC machine ahead of Roni Krampusch. So that'll be, I believe that'll be Gabby DeRosa who has gotten through him, and Cyril Basset is further up the road. So Roni was looking great in 4th position. Nico got past him, and he was driving comfortably, and now he's gone backwards, lost 2 or 3 positions just in the previous lap. Looks inside coming into the hairpin, and now these 3 drivers, thinking a little bit better of it, looked like it could be 3 wide going into the 3rd corner, into the right-hander of the Schuler S, but these cars, the drivers, choosing to go single file. You can see the rear of the cars just snaking on power, even though they're all-wheel drive in the sprint race. There is enough power that they do get wheel spin, and the rear-wheel drive can induce a little bit of understeer driving into the corner. Roni Krampusch coming off the final corner now in pursuit of Gabby DeRosa, though Gabby getting away. So 1/3 of the race completed. Adam Brown comfortably in the lead at the very front. Carlos Magioitis remains unbothered, though he's right there within about 1 second of Adam at the front of the grid. And there's one car. There we go. Ian Ma on the previous lap had already taken his attack boost further back, and now Teemu Sarkkinen choosing to take a little bit of extra power, his one compulsory attack boost during the sprint race, as he fights with his brother in the other Zafiralis machine, coming through the S and down to the final hairpin.
Yeah, we saw the drivers are trying to overtake the other people on the outside, but it causing them to lock up their tires. So at this specific track, it might be a better idea to brake late on the inside, then get at a better exit speed and overtake on straight.
Yeah, there's definitely, you've talked about the strategy there. You can see Teemu Sarkkinen using the superior energy to just sail by Ronnie Kronpush. He could have done that on either side of the racetrack, and it would not have mattered. And oh my goodness, great onboard
double
shot
overtake.
as we see him get by. Yeah, the double overtake easily past Ronnie Kronpush coming across the start-finish line and using the superior power to take another position on his way into the hairpin. A late, aggressive, but clean and tactical move.
Yeah.
You've talked about the strategy of making the best of the energy in the past, Adal, and here I think you've said, and I agree, that using the extra power. And oh, that's a late lunge. Oh, Gabby DeRosa gets into Teemu Sarkkinen, who had just used the power to get by him in the first corner. Now Teemu Sarkkinen has it all to do again with one fewer lap of that extra energy. We'll see if he can. If he can do this again, so to speak, with all the extra power. But because these straights are so long, Ronnie going by, that's impressive. Teemu must have gotten
on the inside again.
Yeah, going on the inside again. He must have gotten a really poor run out of the final quarter, but the extra power here with all-wheel drive should allow him to fight into the Schuler S. Be tricky on the outside, thinks better of it. He'll
you have to go in deep in this corner spot. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What a move there.
Crazy
around
move.
The outside of one corner and then the outside of the next. The tactics of using this extra energy, because you're carrying so much more speed and you get diminishing returns of applying that power into velocity. You can use a lot more energy than you really want to, carrying all the speed to make a late lunge on the brakes.
It's really important to have a great setup in this track, specifically because there's not many corners here, so the most advantage that you're going to get in this track is with your setup.
So Gabby DeRosa once again behind Teemu Sarkkinen, had to do all of that work again over the course of one lap, and now he is comfortably ahead. If he can drive away from Gabriel DeRosa, then I think he should have this position on lock. And now Nico Batola looking by. Oh, that's an MRC
nice save.
car. Yeah, that is not an MRC car. That's Yasin Badal, an MRC car behind Nico Batola. Yeah,
Yasin
Nico
and MRC as well.
Yeah, Nico and oh, is he an MRC driver?
Yeah.
That's my mistake. Fair enough. Thank you for the correction. Yeah, Nico trying to get by Yasin Badal and just getting into the rear of that car. Well held by Yasin Badal to avoid losing the car when the rear was snaking all over the place. And now Nico Batola in an MRC sandwich. Yasin Badal dives for the attack boost zone. We'll use the straight line exit from the corner and the extra power to go right around Nico once again, trying to hold the car on the outside. He'll have the inside for the left-hander right here. Nico giving him just enough respect. Yasin Badal tucks in right under the diffuser of Nico Batola as they come off the exit of the corner, and now Yasin looking to the inside in the final hairpin. Nico Batola, these two, I believe, came together in the previous round more than once, and I don't think Nico is going to be thrilled about leaving any room at all or losing any positions to Yasin Badal. And now this is a nice four-way fight for third position. Yasin Badal has it right now, but Cyril Basset has entered the game with Nico immediately alongside Gerard Fornieles, and Cyril Basset late on the brakes. What a lunge all the way down into the hairpin. Yasin Badal saw him at the last moment, gave him just enough room. Somehow Cyril Basset got the car stopped and all the way down to the apex. Nico Batola went for the attack boost, got by or stayed ahead of Gerard Fornieles. And, oh my goodness, what a scrap. Cyril Basset 3 positions down the front stretch, 2 positions down the front stretch, and then snatched a third going into the hairpin. Brilliant driving by Cyril Basset all the way up into third position.
Cyril Basset wants every point that he can take, and the control over his car is crazy. I do not understand how he can brake that late and still keep the car settled. It is crazy.
incredible driving by Cyril Basset. He's shown some moments of true brilliance during this season, and then had a number of misfortunes and small mistakes here and there. But today, putting on a great show, a 3-for-1 down the front straight and into the first hairpin, 8th to 5th position, and he's gapping Yasin Badal, who is. Oh, I couldn't tell. Was that a lag? Okay, that was a lag.
That was a lag. Yeah.
Yeah. Looked like Yasin had just given up and pitched the car into the barrier and then disappeared, but that was all lag. Still fighting with Nico Patola. Nico Patola, plenty of room into the hairpin. Yasin a little bit wide. Instead of tucking in behind, Nico followed him around the outside through the hairpin. And now Yasin, I don't think he got quite as good an exit as Nico did. So Nico now off in pursuit with the extra power of Cyril Basset, who has a little less than
Nico.
That
was close.
that was optimistic.
I was
by
clenching
Nico,
my teeth.
Yeah, so was I. He managed to get the car stopped. So Nico and Cyril Basset, a little bit less time. Sorry, Cyril Basset less time on the clock than Yasin Badal and Nico Patola. Nico Patola 2 minutes left on his. Cyril Basset will run out of the extra boost around the end of this lap. So I expect Nico Patola will be able to get through him. At the front, Carlos Macioidis took his attack boost just a few moments ago. 3.5 minutes remaining on his. Still trailing Adam Brown by about 1 second. So Carlos Macioidis just driving his own rhythm. He's closed the gap slightly with extra power to Adam Brown. Knocked about 0.3 off it, but Adam comfortably in the lead. Carlos cruising behind him. The race is for third position right now, with Cyril Basset running out of attack boost now. Nico Patola, 1.5 minutes remaining. So Nico wants to use the extra energy he has to try to get through Cyril Basset onto the podium. Yasin Badal, about 40 seconds remaining on his. He will run out of attack boost around the end of this lap. And then further back, attack boost running out for Mika Sarkkinen and Eunice Dermaz, Gabby DeRosa, Ronan Kronpush, and Gerard Fornielis, all yet to take theirs. And of course, Adam Brown at the very front. Nico through, that is Cyril Basset, who looked like he was just a little bit too late on the brakes. Nico swipes that position from Cyril and should be able to easily drive away with the extra horsepower.
Yeah, the exit was not great as well, but I want to quickly give credit to Yasin Badal. I think he's driving on a trackpad or a touchpad, and the way he's taking control of the car is so real with his driving conditions. He has some contacts with other drivers while braking on a high speed, but even though driving on a touchpad, he still got control of the car, and he is going on a great run right now.
Yeah, he is looking fine today. We've seen some questionable performances from Yasin Badal in the past, but looking strong today. Carlos Macioidis at the front has just taken the lead of the race from Adam Brown. Adam Brown still yet to take his attack boost. Carlos Macioidis cruised past him on the back straight. And now Adam Brown trailing Carlos Macioidis. Carlos, a huge lift coming into the first corner.
I was not expecting that.
He lifted at 300 meters, and now Adam Brown goes for the attack boost. So he'll have the wider exit from the corner, a little bit extra energy. Carlos, 1.5 minutes remaining on his boost. Adam Brown has taken his, and I have to believe it'll be, we should have a look at the energy remaining soon. I have to believe that Adam has taken substantially more than Carlos has. Carlos just cruising around behind Adam for so long, staying right at about 1 second behind. Now Adam with the extra power, I would expect him to try to go by Carlos Macioidis here. Further back, gaps have stabilized slightly. Nico Patola has full control of third position, about 1 second ahead of Cyril Basset. So Yasin Badal 0.6 behind Cyril, so close racing further back. But the battle is for the lead right now. Adam Brown looking to the outside coming into the hairpin. Carlos Macioidis covering off the line. And Adam looks to use superior power to get by Carlos Macioidis, chooses to relax a little bit, coasts into the Schuler S, and will follow Carlos Macioidis down to the final hairpin.
I thought he was energy saving for a second, and I was like, no, this is not the main race. This is the future race. I was really confused for a second.
Yeah, nope, still in the sprint. It has gone by quite quickly, though. Adam Brown right under the rear wing of Carlos Macioidis, and there you can see the energy situation and how, oh my goodness, how wrong I was, Adal. Carlos and Adam might as well be even on power. So Adam driving quickly, but also conserving. So good performance from Adam so far. Carlos Macioidis defending the inside line here once again. Adam can afford to be patient because he's still got 2 minutes of extra horsepower remaining. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see this continue until they choose to race into the final lap. We're on the 20th lap of asking right now. There'll be 6 laps remaining when they cross the line. And Adam, oh goodness, rear of the car just getting away from him with the extra power coming out of the corner. Somehow held that. And looking to the inside, Careless just placing his car, he's making it awkward for Adam to pass. He's not deliberately blocking. He's taking a slightly defensive line. But he's just putting his car in places where it would be weird for Adam to try to pass on the inside because he would be so close to the barrier on the left side of the racetrack. Yeah, and going around the outside is so difficult. Careless once again places the car on the inside of the racetrack, forces Adam to back out of the power on the exit of the corner, and Careless we saw him put on a brilliant performance in the rain as Adam chooses to try the outside, and the Schuler S can't quite do it. Brilliant power on exit from Careless Magiotis, but Adam into the power a little bit earlier, and there Careless chooses to cede the position, coasts nice and early, gently onto the brakes, and gets a nice tight line into the final corner, easily on the power. Adam Brown, 1 minute of that energy remaining. As we were saying earlier, Adal, Careless Magiotis doesn't have to push. He doesn't have to try very hard. He would love to come away with a double win today, but all he needs to do is haul the points. They are so far ahead of Nico Patola, who is racing Cyril Basset in the background. We'll check on that. But Careless just needs the points, and he will be champion today.
Yeah, I think he was not just saving energy, but he was trying to keep it safe with the Adam. He doesn't want to get out of this race. He doesn't want to lose any points. He doesn't want to lose the championship to Imran Azar. And after this turn 3, it's really easy to lose the rear tires because after the turn 3, we have a crash.
Yeah, that is Yasin Badal has been way off because I believe that's sorry, that is Ian Ma, not Yasin Badal. Those cars look similar, but certainly not the same. So yeah, Ian Ma, a bit of a crash in the final corner there, and I believe he's just up the road from the leaders. Now, Cyril Basset, we'll keep an eye on the leaders. Close racing at the front, but closer here. Cyril Basset has caught up to Nico Patola well into the slipstream here, so we'll see if Cyril chooses to make a dive on the brakes. We've seen him do it before. We know he is so good late on the brakes, getting the car stopped. And there you can see he was coasting longer late on the brakes, but unable to make any progress through Nico Patola. So they
are lifting before their braking points, but they have more than enough energy to finish race. So I don't understand why are they doing this.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I don't know how much practice these drivers have done at the Norisring. Obviously, we had earlier at the Norisring, but in completely different cars to these electric machines. And because you have to conserve so much with the way how long these straights are and how much power it takes to accelerate these cars. Nico, a kind of a scruffy line through the final hairpin. Cyril Basset once again right there in the slipstream. I'm looking to see another late dive from Cyril Basset as we watch them go by Ian Ma very politely, well off to the left side of the racetrack to let the leaders through. Careless Magiotis right there behind Adam Brown once again. So we've got 2 fights to keep an eye on. Careless right under the rear wing of Adam Brown's machine as Cyril Basset is harrying Nico Patola 6 seconds behind them. And we'll come through the final hairpin for the 24th time. There will be 2 laps remaining when we cross the line to complete this lap. Careless, his line through the final corner and how cleanly he gets the power down is so good as Nico, a little bit too much rotation coming into the final corner, managed to gather it up near the apex. I think that caught Cyril out because it looked like Cyril would have good power coming out of the corner. It doesn't appear to be any closer to Nico than he was on the prior lap. But Cyril
may have
right there.
Because,
late on the brakes. Nico made a late fade to the inside to try to defend it. Cyril, wise to it, stays to the outside late on the brakes, fully alongside Nico Patola. Now he is right there under Nico's rear wing. This position is on offer for Cyril Basset. Nico Patola making little mistakes here and there in the braking zones. Might just give this up if Cyril Basset can make one late move. Here we go. Nico Patola coasting. Cyril Basset late on the brakes and late in the power. And Nico still struggling in the final corner. Cyril Basset through and into the podium places. Final lap. Careless Magiotis is still behind Adam Brown. He is that gap has opened a little bit, around about half a second ahead of Careless Magiotis as they go into and out of the first hairpin. And now Cyril Basset comfortably ahead of Nico Patola. So Nico Patola not able to make any progress down the front straight. Haven't checked on his tires. You mentioned tire management, Adal, so I wonder if perhaps Nico is struggling a little bit. And as they run right now, Adam Brown on his way to the final corner looks as though he is poised to take the sprint win here in the fifth and final round of the 2026 MRC E-Challenge season. Carlos Machioidis will finish a comfortable second unless one of these two or both of them run out of energy as they cross the line. And it looks like they are safely and easily through. Adam just enough to take the sprint race win. Carlos Machioidis drove just comfortably, easily to second. Cyril Basset, a brilliant fight with Nico Patola, takes third. Nico crosses the line fourth. Gerard Fornielis all the way up to fifth from the back of the grid. And Yasin Badal, a nice clean race from him to finish sixth.
It was a great race.
Yeah, it was a great race by him. Timo Sarkkinen with the brilliant 3-for-1 move that we saw earlier. Takes seventh position ahead of Roni Kronpush. Started fifth, was up to fourth, finishes eighth. Gabi DeRosa across the line in ninth position. And now we've got a drag race for the final spot in the top 10. Mika Sarkkinen takes 10th position ahead of Magic. Mika Sarkkinen will start on a pole position for the feature race. Yudish Tamaz finishes in 13th. I like this show by the drivers to stomp on the brakes after they cross the line and put up the smoke. And Careless out of energy as they cross the line, getting a push from Tim Donater. Jonathan Palmer doing the same for Adam Brown. So
they're doing the same for everybody.
Yeah, I think we'll get some formation flying with the course cars doing a little bit of help, and Cyril Basset also getting some assistance by the course cars. So, I mean, that's the way to do it. Use the last drop of energy, squeeze every electron out of those batteries as you cross the line, and if you can't make it to the podium,
it's like watching the Cars movie.
Exactly. Yeah. If there's if there are course cars to help you onto the podium, so be it.
It was really unfortunate for Nico, by the way. He was pushing his limits and he lost his traction at the same quarters like for 2 laps. And yeah, it was really unfortunate for him.
Yep, tiny mistakes add up in these cars. And Cyril Basset, finally Cyril Basset, his effort rewarded. Cyril has speed and finally manages to take a podium position out of it with some brilliant driving today. So here we go, everybody lining up on the grid at the start-finish line to make up the sprint race podium. There we go. Adam just slightly ahead of the rest. Adam Brown wins the sprint race in the 5th round here at the Norisring. Course cars trying to sneak in and out of the picture. Carlos Machioidis finishes second, just 1 second behind Adam Brown. And Cyril Basset with a late move in a great fight with Nico Patola takes the bronze medal position, 7 seconds back there in third. Nico Patola finishes fourth ahead of Gerard Fornielis in fifth. Yasin Badal, great race from him. Nice fight with Nico Patola early on. A little bit of wheel banging, but for the most part, they kept it clean. Yasin finishes sixth ahead of Timo Sarkkinen. Roni Kronpush eighth. Gabi DeRosa in ninth position ahead of Mika Sarkkinen, who will who will finish the sprint race in 10th, start the feature race on pole position after we reverse the grid order. Adal, that was not uneventful, like qualifying.
It was
today.
an entertaining race.
It was an entertaining race, a little bit more relaxing than we're used to. Plenty of action for us to keep up with, but not too much. And now we go into the open practice session. We'll switch the car configurations for the rear-wheel drive variant to get ready for the feature race. Once again, Adam Brown wins the sprint, Carlos Machioidis second, Cyril Basset third. We will take a short break before we go into the open practice session. We'll see everybody again in just a moment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on Sim Broadcast for round 5 of the MRC E-Challenge 2026 season at the Norisring mod by Tutu the Dog. Brilliant racing in the sprint. Plenty of excitement. Not too much for us to manage. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We hope you did too. Practice between the sprint and the feature race is happening right now. About 9 minutes left on the clock. Following, I believe this is Carlos Machiotis in the background. Yes, it is. Yes, Carlos Machiotis
Nice one,
in the
Travis.
Yes Motorsports machine. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that. We did not get to our bold predictions before the sprint because we were busy with the rest of our business. So we'll make some predictions. We'll see if we can get some from Mo in the background so we can add a little bit of spice since we're down a commentator today. Pete still indisposed. Hopefully he'll be able to join us before the feature is over. So Adol, your predictions, go for it.
If I just want to see the race lap first because the sprint race and the actual race is two different things. So let's give it a few minutes, then we can make predictions.
You want to do predictions during the race? Okay.
No. Yeah, I want to.
Oh,
I want to do predictions after the practice is over.
I get it. Okay, now I'm with you. That seems fair enough.
We can talk about the cars if you want to.
Yeah, so the cars, somebody's spinning in the background there, putting up a nice smoke screen for the other driver coming out of the final corner. Yeah, so the car configuration, once again, different between the sprint and the feature. This is why we have this open practice session for 10 minutes between the sprint and the feature, so drivers can make any adjustments either to the machine or to their approach, their mental approach to racing. In the sprint, the fully electric all-wheel drive machine and the rear-wheel drive variant only in the feature. Adol, tell us a little bit about the differences and the challenges of moving to the rear-wheel drive variant in the feature.
Yeah, okay, so we saw some people looking up in the feature race, but I think it's not going to be a problem in this actual race since we are not going to see people braking at the last second. We're going to see some people lifting. We're going to see everybody lifting before braking and turning while lifting. So I don't think we're going to see lockups, but I think we're going to see people spinning out at the exit of the corners, especially in the third corner at the third turn. It's really easy to lose your traction. As you can see in the background, somebody lost his traction. It's really easy to lose your traction. In the dirty air, it's even more easier. So I think the important thing in this actual race is getting out of the corners safely.
Yeah, there's also that transition coming out of the third corner, the left-hander of the Schuler S,
Oh, yeah.
where you end up on that bumpy surface where if you have, especially if you have the attack boost, the extra power, rear-wheel drive only, the car bouncing over the surface, really easy to get wheel spin there. Like we saw Adam Brown do it. Well, we saw a few drivers do it, but Adam Brown had a spectacular moment coming out of that corner where the car was fully sideways and he drove all the way across the racetrack to gather it up before he got it back under control. And we're following Roney out of the corner we were just talking about in the background. I was watching Carlos Machiotis, who had looked like an MRC driver who just didn't realize he was there and drove him all the way to the wall. Better to get those out of our system in practice. The track, once again, the Norisring, a beautiful track mod by Tutu the Dog. So you can't tell because of all the beautiful artwork around, but this is actually on the layout square. 6 corners. The first one is the Grundigkehr, and then the Schuler S turns 2 and 3 on this map. The kink at turn 4 down the Zeppelinstrasse, and then the Dutzendikehr, that final hairpin, number 5, and then that kink back onto Bündnerstrasse to cross at the start-finish line and past the pits. We got Ronny Kronpush going through that S-curve now, the right and then the left. The rear of that car working beautifully. No challenge for him going up and over that bumpy surface as he approaches these huge curves on the right side of the racetrack before he negotiates the final corner. About 5 minutes remaining in the session. Now you've gotten a few laps to digest driver performances. Are you ready for predictions at all?
So yeah, I think I'm ready. So I think Adam, I think is going to be the winner of this race. Moshiatus is going to be at the second place, but I think I'm going to make the same prediction at the last round. I think Magic is going to come to the third place at the end of the race. We might see a surprise. Who knows?
Well, I have a prediction that is. I was ready to make this prediction, but it's not so bold now because we're cheating in the background. bar any penalties, and the sprint is well and truly done now. So I can't see how this would happen. Carlos Macioidis is the provisional champion. There are not enough points on offer for anyone to overtake him after he took second position in the sprint race. Imran Azar not here today, so he is stuck on 185 points. Carlos Macioidis has 199 going into the feature. So Carlos Macioidis, our champion. If you're listening, give us a wiggle of the steering, Carolus. Congratulations. If not, we'll have a chat with you later. He's doing a very big coast across the start-finish line now. That was about 350 meters as he comes into the first corner. Yep, Carolus head down, focused as always. I don't think he has any idea he's the champion yet. Well done.
I want to quickly mention that.
Oh, go ahead.
The championship for the team standing is still going on at MRC, and I forgot the other team. I think it was Race Green. I think it might come to the last race, which is today's race. So,
yeah, could be. We'll take a look at the championship standings for teams if we get a chance before this is over. So, okay, one prediction out of the way. No prediction about Carlos Macioidis taking the championship. He is the champion, the provisional champion, though I'm sure he would like to cap this off with a win. He's coasting across the start-finish line. It's crazy how long this straight is and how it's just not really made for E-Challenge cars. Well, I guess you could say it is made for E-Challenge cars. It makes it very, very difficult for the drivers to optimize the performance, the consumption of the power, and the reduction, the conservation to make sure they make it the full race distance. Great shot looking at Carolus coming out of the right-hander all the way out to the barrier on the right side of the racetrack. Carolus very smooth. So Carolus will be champion. My prediction is that he caps this off with a win. I think he is so good at coming through the pack after they reverse the grid for the final, the feature race. I believe Carolus will be able to get through, especially with how wide this racetrack is. Plenty of room for him to negotiate, consume a little extra power on the start. He's been very good all season at timing his pickup for the attack boost. So Carolus, my pick to win the feature race. Unless he gets punted onto his lid coming through the grid, which would be unfortunate, but he's champion regardless, so he doesn't have to worry about it too much.
I want to quickly give credit to the dog. So since he made many upgrades to the track for the E-Challenge. Previously, the corner that we see, the straight we see in front of us was a lot different. It was not suitable for E-Challenge cars, but he made different changes so the MRC E-Challenge cars could behave more stable. So thanks to him, we're doing this track today.
Yeah, he actually sent us a long list of technical notes, and since we've got a minute. Yeah, we've got a minute or so remaining in this practice session with Roni Kronbusch on top, ahead of Adam Brown and Carlos Macioidis. So well done to Roni finding some pace. Yeah, we got a long list of all of these improvements that Tutu the dog sent us. So he removed a lot of baked-in shadows that didn't cast correctly. So you see the lights being cast as we watch these cars come into the first hairpin now. The baked-in shadows gone, now fully dynamic. So the light behind the trees casting shadows on the track looks great. He removed some lower resolution textures and replaced them with high-res textures, and you can see that everywhere. Like this circuit looks more or less like
fantastic.
Visually, it's stunning. And there's a list of changelog details that he sent to us, like a lot of visual things, also improvements to the track surface. So there's new roughness settings to better reflect the actual track surface. There are water reflections, which I have not seen myself anywhere. But there are apparently water reflections around. Yeah, probably outside the track. Look for the swan boat. There's a swan boat somewhere on that water that now has reflections that we should be able to see somewhere. Various visual, basically all of these little details around the racetrack he has improved to make sure that they look accurate to real life. The tents at the pit lane are more accurate. The crowd stands cast shadows now, so we looked at the trees with the dynamic shadows from the new lighting system. You can see the shadows cast by the walls now, but now the grandstand's also cast. We saw when Magic is coming through here, there we can see the grandstands in the background casting shadows on the back of the wall. The crane trucks cast shadows. So all of these little visual details look so good. Brilliant work. There you can see one of the Marshall posts casting shadows on the racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
So brilliant work by Tutu the dog. This is a visually stunning track mod for Live for Speed.
Travis, do you have any idea how he made this track?
No, I have no idea how he made this track. I see
I can
he has,
explain a
yeah, he has
simply
talent, and
simplified
I'm a
way.
drooling idiot. So yeah, go for it.
So there's actually behind the under the textures there are actual like barriers on the LFS editor that we have ourselves. Like there are barriers that we cannot see, and he puts textures on top of them. Having shadows means that he put barriers or other things, objects in order to make shadows, which is fantastic and takes so much time.
And absolutely brilliant work by Tutu the dog, because this whole thing looks absolutely stunning, and I hope we get other track mods in the future for other famous racing circuits around the world. Practice has concluded. We've got the Drivers' Championship standings on screen. Carlos Machioidis going into the feature race will be the champion. Carlos Machioidis, the 2026 season, the MRC E-Challenge champion, 199 points going into the final race, the feature race. Imran Azar, Nico Patola. Well, Imran certainly he's not participating today, but Nico Patola, Cyril Bassay will not be able to overtake Carlos Machioidis. He is our champion for the 2026 season. Imran Azar still could finish second position. Nico Patola there in third. Cyril Bassay could. I don't think Nico may be able to take Imran Azar, but I think the podium will be Carlos Machioidis on top, and then some configuration of Imran Azar and Nico Patola behind. Though Cyril Bassay could get by Nico for third position. Gerard Fornielis still probably in it with the points on offer. Got to go look at the points rules to see if that's actually. I don't think it is. The most a driver could take is 25 points. 40 points for a win, and then the bonus point for the fastest lap. So 40 points on offer. Cyril Bassay is not going to get past Imran Azar. Nico Patola could just overtake Imran Azar, but he needs to win the race. So pretty well stable here in the Drivers' Championship. Gerard Fornielis there in fifth position, Ronan Kronpush in sixth. Gabber, the champion from the reigning champion from the previous season, down in seventh position, chose not to participate in the remaining rounds of the season after round 2 or 3. Timo Sarkinen there in eighth, with Mika behind him in ninth. Klunchik Magic there in 10th position, and we'll take a quick look. I think we've got, if we don't have a graphic for it, we do have updated Teams Championship standings we can talk about in the background. Yes Motorsports well ahead of Team Citus in second position. MRC could get past Team Citus. No points in the sprint for Citus. I believe Nico Patola is driving for yesterday, so MRC should be able to get by Team Citus easily. They are only 16 points behind, and
They overtook Zephyralis in this race. But there's only 5-point gap between them.
Yeah, there is a 5-point gap. So MRC and Zafiralis, I believe, will both get past Team Citus. Which of those teams finishes in second position remains to be seen. So, drivers gridding up in the background. Those are the championship standings. There we go, on screen. Yes Motorsports, well ahead of Team Citus. So, Yes Motorsports will have the drivers and the team's champion. This is the old one. In the background, we've got 241 for Team Citus, 227 for MRC, 222 for Zafiralis, and 206 for Race Green. So, there's a fight for second and third position. Team Citus not taking any points today. So, everything to play for second position in the team's championship. Looking good for MRC and Zafiralis, but Race Green, if Roni can pull a blinder, might just be able to sneak in there. There we go. Updated points. 340 for Yes Motorsports. Team Citus on 241. MRC with 227. Zafiralis 222. And Race Green with 206. So, again, congratulations to Yes Motorsports for a team's championship in the 2026 season of the MRC E-Challenge. Gridding up in the background, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite all of our drivers yet. Actually, now we've got Jonathan Palmer at the very back of the grid. So just about ready to go for the feature race, the fifth and final time in the 2026 season of the MRC E-Challenge. Waiting for drivers to ready up. Any final predictions before we go, Adol?
I think Cyril Bassay might get a podium. He was really fast in the practice session, which I was not expecting at all.
He was quick, and I'll stick to my prediction that Carlos can do whatever he wants now. So Carlos will either win the race or finish on his lid, one or the other, nothing in between. Drivers all readied up, going to grid now. We'll present the grid in just a moment. Wait for the lights to come up, and then we will be away for the final time in this fantastic, this brilliant 2026 season of MRC E-Challenge. There we can see the drivers ahead. And we'll have Mika Sarkkinen on pole position. Drivers left, our right. Right side of the screen, Mika Sarkkinen starting on provisional pole position after the reversal from sprint to feature. Alongside him will be Roni Kronpush in the race green machine. If he wants to take a team's championship, he's in position to do it, starting on the front row. Behind Roni Kronpush is Teemu Sarkkinen, starting in third position, with Yasin Bidal along. Sorry, Roni Kronpush starting in third position, Teemu Sarkkinen alongside. There we've got the number, that is the 22 machine of Gerard Fornielis alongside Nico Pantola. And then behind Nico Pantola will be Cyril Bisset in the number 21. And there, sprint race, second place, and champion Carlos Macioidis in ninth position on the grid alongside Adam Brown, who won the sprint race just a few moments ago. And behind them, we have Magic in this green car, the number 43 alongside Eunice Dermaz, the number 23 starting in 12th position. Ian Ma not taking part in the feature race. And now we look down on the grid, waiting for the lights to come up for the final time. Track is green, pits are closed, 5 seconds to lights, no rain in the forecast. Green flag, cars are away, Mika Sarkkinen away, Teemu Sarkkinen with a brilliant start at the back of the grid, someone away slowly, that would have been Eunice Dermaz, and the Sarkkinens fighting into the first corner, tight, three wide, Nico Pantola contact with Cyril Bisset. That is Carlos Macioidis, who is already up from ninth position, and Adam Brown somehow stuck near the very back. That was Ian Ma at the back. My apologies. I got one of those drivers wrong. And now Cyril Bisset giving... oh, my goodness!
Oh.
That was Roni Kronpush losing the rear of the car, nearly taking out a couple drivers as he speared across the racetrack. Somehow found a gap. Carlos Macioidis got a nice speed boost by Cyril Bisset right under his diffuser on the way through the S's. And now...
Roni proving me right once again.
Yeah, Roni proving you right. These cars are a handful to drive. So Roni from second all the way back to, that's going to be ninth or 10th position, as Teemu Sarkkinen leads the first lap ahead of Gerard Fornielis. Mika Sarkkinen in fourth, Mika Sarkkinen in third, Adam Brown all the way up to fourth with Carlos Macioidis right behind, and then Cyril Bisset in tow. Nico Pantola behind Cyril Bisset with Magic, Roni Kronpush, and Ian Ma rounding out the order. So Teemu Sarkkinen with a comfortable lead as they run right now. There you can see the standings, 1 second clear of his brother, Mika Sarkkinen in second position. Gerard Fornielis right there behind Mika Sarkkinen. And then Adam Brown looking into the hairpin. And Adam Brown takes that position.
Lunge.
Yeah, it was a brilliant lunge to get by Gerard Fornielis, though he's ended up on the outside, overran the corner a little bit. They will both fight for the slipstream of Mika Sarkkinen ahead of them. And do we see, here we go, bold prediction. Do we see a three-way split going into the first corner? Adam looks to the inside, late on the brakes. I can't believe he got the car slowed down. I thought for sure he was going to overshoot the apex, but well held by Adam to slow the car down, get it nice and tight to the curbing, and off he goes in pursuit of the lead. Adam Brown up to second position, and that, I believe, is Mika Sarkkinen behind him. Carlos Macioidis not able to get through Gerard Fornielis. So Carlos Macioidis there in fifth, while Adam Brown is in pursuit of the leader, Teemu Sarkkinen.
The drivers are really close, and they might forget to. They wouldn't forget, but they might later remember to save energy. So we might see interesting energy strategies towards the end of the race. Everybody's so packed closely that I don't think anybody's really, how can I say it, lifting right now.
No, they're not. It's a pretty good scrap on the first 3 laps of this race. Now on the fourth, these drivers close, as Adal just said, coming out of the first corner. They are line astern all the way down to 7th position. That is Nico Pantola just 4 seconds off the lead, with Adam Brown in pursuit of Teemu Sarkkinen. Teemu going very well in the lead, holding that gap at 1 second to Adam Brown. In the background, Ian Ma has gone for his first attack boost. He's just been through there now. And we see snaking into the final corner That is Mika Sarkkinen right there behind Adam Brown. So Mika not going away. Adam Brown not making any headway on Teemu Sarkkinen. The Sarkkinens looking strong in the opening laps of the feature.
Yeah, they're fast, and they are trying to. Mika Sarkkinen is trying to help his teammate, which is in the first place, but Adam is really quick. He was in the 10th position, but he's in the 2nd position by lap 5, which is crazy.
Yeah, I really expected Carolus to be more aggressive. I assume by now he knows he is the champion. So he could afford to be aggressive and have a bit of fun. If it goes wrong, no big deal. But he appears to be perfectly happy running there in 5th position and making slow but steady progress on the drivers ahead of him. Mika Sarkkinen now, losing the gap to Adam. Adam sideways, opposite lock, trying to get the car stopped into the final corner. Just made contact with Teemu Sarkkinen and then got a poor exit. So Teemu Sarkkinen still leading the race, but Adam ever so slightly closer. In the background, there's Gerard Farnielis with mirrors full of Carolus Maciotis, and Carolus looking to the inside, coming into the first corner, late on the brakes. Gerard Farnielis leaves him plenty of room, and Carolus on the power. Ooh, a little bit of wheel spin from Gerard Farnielis. Looked like he might be able to hold that position with Carolus Maciotis there on the outside, but Carolus is through now, off in pursuit of Mika Sarkkinen, and he might just have carried enough speed off the final corner here that he could look to the inside. Mika Sarkkinen defending the position, or just going wide into, just going wide into that kink, and Carolus through 2 positions in 1 lap, and now Carolus off to try to overtake Adam Brown, who is a 2.5 up the road. Mika Sarkkinen not going away, though. Further back, Nico Patola, Magic have taken their attack boosts about 2 laps ago, a lap and a half ago. Mika Sarkkinen trying to defend that position. Carolus Maciotis late on the brakes on the inside, gets the power down very well. No wheel spin from either of these drivers, but Mika not quite as quick off the first hairpin. Carolus Maciotis through the first, and now the second of the corners of the Schürrle S, and off, chasing Adam Brown. That gap shrinking slightly. Adam Brown was about 1 second off the lead and now is right there behind Teemu Sarkkinen. And Carolus Maciotis looked like he was late, very late on the brakes. Adam Brown on the previous lap took his attack boost. He has 3.5 laps remaining. Though Teemu Sarkkinen will be able to tuck in behind Adam as he drives by. He'll get a free slipstream and a little bit of extra energy savings coming into the first corner. But now Adam easily into first position. Teemu Sarkkinen demoted to second.
They are not saving energy at all, which is crazy. We haven't seen this close racing in the other tracks, which is going to explain later in the race why people are going to have problem with their energy. I don't think they get the idea of the main race.
No, perhaps not. Carolus looking like Carolus and the drivers behind him, Mika Sarkkinen and Gerard Farnielis, looking like they have a plan. Carolus slowly falling away from the lead. Adam Brown driving like it's a sprint and he has limitless energy. And here we follow Mika Sarkkinen with Gerard Farnielis not too far behind. But these 5 drivers still running relatively close together. There's only 6 seconds covering the top 7. Adam well away into the lead now. He's a 2.5 up the road from Teemu, but Carolus back to Nico Pantola, only 3 seconds. So all of these drivers appear to be managing their energy pretty well. Adam did surprise us in the sprint. We thought that with his aggressive driving, some of his moves, perhaps he was a little bit too thirsty with the energy coming from his batteries, but then turned out he was saving his energy just fine. As Cyril Basset in the background, that was so strange, Adal. That looked like perhaps the throttle spiked because he was smoothly off the corner, and then out of nowhere, tons of wheel spin. That I wonder if that was a controller issue, or if he just accidentally stomped on the pedal and didn't realize how much boost he had.
Well, getting out of the corners, like you may be getting out of the corner at 80% throttle, but getting to 100% is dangerous. 20% may not seem such a big difference, but it is in these E-Challenge cars. And as I said before the race and the analysis, after turn 3, it is so easy to lose the back of your tires.
Yeah, you did indeed. The over/under here from Gerard Farnielis. The switchback on Mika Sarkkinen. Mika tucks in behind.
Oh!
Ooh, a little bit of contact. That was so fortunate by Mika Sarkkinen to, oh my goodness. Mika Sarkkinen with the save of the season. Slight contact, got up on the pavement just before the curbing, so he didn't get launched by the curbing, and then the car snaking all over the place on the brakes. I thought for sure he was going to pile sideways into Gerard Fornielis, somehow manages to keep control of the car and got it stopped for the final hairpin. Brilliant driving by Mika Sarkkinen. And he, just as we praise his driving, follows Gerard Fornielis through the attack boost zone. Gerard Fornielis looking a little bit feisty, perhaps a little bit too feisty, now has Nico Patola in his sights. Nico has already taken one of his attack boosts and now appears to be a sitting duck for Gerard Fornielis.
Also, Fornielis trying to push, trying to give everything he's got, because the only way the MRC team is going to get the second position in the team standing is Fornielis. There are no MRC drivers in the second race right now. So it's all up to Fornielis. He's pushing with all he can.
Yeah, and little bit aggressive. That might have gotten a shout from Mika Sarkkinen, the contact that put Mika Sarkkinen up over the curbing and onto the pavement. But everyone no worse for wear. Mika Sarkkinen did lose the position, but now he's right there behind Nico Patola. Now has Cyril Bisset behind him, who had a terrifying moment of his own 2 laps ago with the wheel spin out of this corner right here. Did the same move that Adam Brown did in the sprint race, where he was in the power just a little bit too early and then chased the car all the way across the racetrack to get it under control. And now a little bit of contact in the background. That is Nico Patola. Looked like Mika Sarkkinen may have lost control on the brakes. Oh no, big contact in the background. That looked like wheel spin from Mika Sarkkinen, and the front of that machine is deranged beyond recognition. Mika Sarkkinen just missed the pit entrance, so he'll have to drive this the way it is for at least one more lap. Unfortunate, looked like that was another case of wheel spin, trying to get into the throttle, just a little bit too eager. And just like that, pitches the car into the barriers, and he's gone. Couldn't tell if he was trying to go for the attack boost there, or if he just overshot the corner. Either way, he missed it. And now cutting across the racetrack, I believe that is Ian Ma, slow behind him. I couldn't tell who that was. I think that was Ian Ma. Yeah, and Ronnie Kronpush going through there now. Ian Ma well off the pace there in the background, and also apparently struggling with the wheel spin. So, yeah, impressive driving from Mika Sarkkinen earlier on to keep control of a car after he was forced off the racetrack, and then it's come undone with wheel spin, and he is driving very slowly in the background. I expected to see him come into the pits, but he has not done so. Now following Carlos Machiotis, who is right there behind Teemu Sarkkinen.
He has only visual damage. I looked at his stats, and he should be fine to the end of the race.
Okay, great. Good for him. A fortunate escape from an ugly collision. Cyril Bisset somehow came away from it without too much damage and without losing too much time. He's about 2 seconds off Nico Patola, so further back than he would have been, but could have been much worse. Carolus now right there with 1 minute of attack boost remaining behind Teemu Sarkkinen. Teemu hasn't taken any of his yet, so perhaps a little bit of strategy from Teemu Sarkkinen to hold that as late as he can. And we're just a couple laps away from the halfway mark in this race, starting at lap 15. Carolus alongside Teemu Sarkkinen. And now up into second position. Teemu gets the switchback, though with the extra power, Carolus will be able to get in front of him easily.
That is a nice move
for the Schuler S. Great camera work here by Mo in the background to get the onboard rear-facing view and side-facing view, using that camera to keep it focused on the machine of Teemu Sarkkinen. Carlos Machiotis up into second position. And in the background, that is Magic ceding that position. Or is that Magic has ceded that position to Teemu Sarkkinen, or is Magic caught up to him? I think Mika Sarkkinen has just taken this position. The front of that car, man, it looks awful, but
it looks funny.
Adul tells us that the mechanicals are okay. So the front of that machine taking the brunt of that earlier collision looks awful, but drives fine. So fortunate for Mika that he's able to continue.
Well, I hope his front wing is not touching the ground. If it is touching the ground, it's a big trouble. But if it's not, it's okay.
Yeah, that will, we do simulate the extra friction of the machine. I shouldn't say we. Live for Speed simulates the extra friction of parts of the machine dragging on the ground, and you can hear it when you're in the car. It makes an awful sound from 20
It
years
does,
ago.
yeah.
I don't believe it's been upgraded. It is a nasty
Yeah,
scraping that you can hear very clearly. Timo Sarkinen at the front has taken an attack boost. Nico Patola has just taken the second of his available ones. Magic on the previous lap, who we are looking back at now. Not on the previous lap, the lap prior to that one. Also took his sole remaining attack boost. So Magic and Nico out of theirs. Roni yet to use any of his. Everyone else with one remaining. Still with this brilliant view from the back of Mika Sarkinen's car. And Mo, we're short one person in the booth today. Pete being indisposed with some life events, unable to join us. So it is Mo doing all the camera work and a lot of the, you don't see this, but there's some amount of work that goes on with the software during the broadcast, little adjustments here and there. And Mo
there's
fighting
lots of
with
things
both,
going.
unable to switch cameras. There we go. We got a camera
Nice.
switch. Now we got a better shot of the deranged state of Mika Sarkinen's machine while he's fighting with Magic.
Travis, I don't know if you saw it, but we saw Adam Brown and Mochitis, the other people's energy, and it was at 53% level. And I'm really surprised that Adam Brown is holding up with the energy with the Mochitis, Sarkinen, and other people.
Yeah, and not just that they have enough energy that they are on budget, but that Adam is holding a 4-second lead. So Adam has found essentially perfect pace to lead this race with a comfortable lead over Carlos Machiotis, though I see... Interesting.
What do you see?
So in the simulator, I see Carlos Machiotis in the lead. It shows Adam Brown on the top of the timing tower. I don't know if Adam has lagged out and it hasn't updated on
Adam
the
is in the
timing
first
yet.
place.
Or no, there we see Adam in first place, and it's because, I've forgotten how Live for Speed works, and it doesn't show me a complete list of the drivers. I get a snapshot view with Adam having scrolled off my view. So apologies for that. I'm a little slow. Adam's still comfortably in the lead of this race, 4 seconds ahead of Carlos Machiotis. Now looking at this fight for fourth position, Nico right there behind Gerard Fornieles. Gerard, as Adal mentioned earlier, carrying the MRC team on his back. He is the only representative in the feature race trying to haul points and get into a podium position, as Nico Pantola uses the extra energy he has remaining, carries the car a little bit deep into the final corner, but he will have great drive out of the final corner and easily alongside through the kink. Nico will streak away into the first corner. There you can see, yeah, the slipstream is no use at all when you get that good an exit and you have 15% extra power. Nico just sails off into the distance.
I think Adam Brown, what he's doing is he found the perfect places to lift. So there's not many things you can do on this track. You cannot brake differently. The corners are the same. Corners are simple. That's what I'm trying to say. Is I think what differentiates Adam from the other people is he is lifting at the correct spot. He is lifting at the best spot.
Yeah,
I think we might even see if we get an onboard lap.
Yeah, and here we are on board with Adam Brown right now. Let's listen for it. We should be able to hear him lift. Oh, yeah, and it was like all the way, somewhere around 300 meters. He's just rolled out of the throttle and coasted all the way past the 100-meter board to gently brake. Any amount of locking up means the rear wheels are still trying to power while the front wheels are not working as efficiently as they could. That's a waste of energy. See him nice and smoothly on the power, nice level hands, a little bit of correction on the power. But Adam beautifully into the throttle, nice and smoothly, just touches the curb there on the right. Could have been a lag. And nice and smooth on the steering, and then level hands, just a tiny little bit of correction. Very, very good on the power, managing the tiniest bit of wheel spin. And yeah, I believe you're right. Adam is he's found the places on the track as I think he went flying by. That was Ian Ma, I believe he went past there. It was indeed. Yeah, Adam just perfect on power, picking the places where he needs to coast so that he maximizes all the energy he has available. This is a masterclass. Ian Ma. Yeah, I think that was Ian Ma in the background. Oh goodness. Yeah, and there he's ended up in the racing surface. There we go. That's a feature, if you will, of the track mod where As Adal explained earlier, there are live for speed barriers behind the artwork. Yeah, and there are speed bumps underneath the sidewalks there. So a little bit of dipping into the visuals of the pavement and then bouncing over those bumps, which gave it a surprisingly realistic looking flair for us on the camera. Carlos Machiotis now has Teemu Sarkkinen behind him again. I think Teemu had just finished an attack boost. So Teemu running very comfortably, well ahead of Nico Pantola in fourth position. Great show from Teemu Sarkkinen today, on for a podium with about 2/3 of the race completed. And Carlos Machiotis just cruising to his championship. Adal, Adam he's grown the gap another 1.5 seconds since we've been talking over the last couple laps. He's absolutely perfect. This is an Imran Azar level performance, finding the most efficient way to use the energy.
It is. What I noticed at the onboard lap is he's using his braking to turn the car around into the corners, and I think also that what gives him the advantage. We do not see the direct like the how can I say, throttle inputs like in the F1 or the F2, but we have an idea because of the sounds that the car gives, and it is perfect. Textbook level racing from Aiden Brown.
Yeah, Adam, brilliant today through the attack boost. He's taken his second of 2. In the background, Carlos and Teemu Sarkkinen electing not to use theirs. They still have a 5-second gap over Nico Pantola. Nico with no attack boost remaining. Will have to make do with irregular energy. So looking good for Carlos and Teemu Sarkkinen there in the podium places as we watch Adam Brown come through the final corner. Now back to Teemu Sarkkinen, who is running comfortably behind Carlos. These two just cruising well ahead of Nico Pantola in fourth position. A clinic by Adam Brown at the front, and also by Carlos Machiotis here in second position, managing a race to maximize the points haul with the least risk, and that has culminated in a championship for Carlos Machiotis today.
Yeah, these people have been practicing on this track for a while, and about the lifting points, about using the brakes to move the car, you do not understand these things while driving, while on the race. These are not the things you can understand later. These are the things you have to understand before the race, in the practice sessions, alone, by yourself, making setups. And right now, we can see that Aiden Brown has put in the time to practice, make the setup. And yeah, most of the people, the top 3 has wonderful setups, as we see.
Cyril Basset easily going by Gerhard Fornieles there in the corner. Lots of 22s on the front of Gerhard's machine. Cyril Basset with a little bit of extra juice to carry him past Gerhard Fornieles into the final corner. About a minute remaining on that extra boost. Fornieles yet to take his second attack boost, so I would expect, given Gerhard's pace, that he will, well, there we go, just like that. He goes for the attack boost. Cyril having a great day. I think he would like to be a little bit further up the order in the feature race, but got on the podium for the sprint. Finally, his talent and pace coming together with a little bit of luck and an absence of mistakes. Cyril looked great in the sprint race, and he's looking good here in the feature as well, trying to track down Nico Pantola before his extra energy runs out. And Nico, we know to be a little bit aggressive with the power. Looks like he could be in reach here of Cyril Basset and also Gerhard Fornieles. Gerhard has 3.5 minutes of attack boost remaining, so extra power that will carry him to about lap 30 or 31. Laps winding down now, 3/4 of the way, 80% of the way through this race now. We'll have a look in a moment at the energy remaining based on what we're seeing on track. With Adam's aggressive running in the front, I assume that we will see everyone is just fine on energy, that they're going to carry these cars across the line with the last drop of energy available to them, get a little bit of a boost to the podium like we saw in the sprint. And how about that? I don't think we have ever seen symmetry like this in the energy count.
Oh yeah,
Adam might just be the tiniest bit short, but it's just ticking down for everyone now as they go
he
through
wasn't
the timing
straight
lines.
That's why.
So everyone, 22.5, 23%, that is incredible. We usually see somebody has used way too much or somebody has been too conservative and left time on the table. But here today, everyone perfect on the power. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the case for the whole track, which is crazy, yeah, as you said. I was not expecting this at all. Like, we would have seen, with, let's say it was people are at 20%, we would see somebody at 35%, we will see somebody at 27%, and it will differentiate towards the end. But yeah, everybody's going, they're not going the same pace, but talking about the pace with the energy, they are going at the same pace.
Yeah, imperious driving by Adam Brown at the front, but still keeping the energy within margins. I think he might just, well, he's only, I mean, he's half a point. Well, there's just picked up for him again. So I think there's a bit of an estimation going on in the, the broadcast software. But everyone pretty well even. I certainly expect that they're all going to be just fine. As we watch Harold Fornielis, I don't think he expected Cyril Basset to slow down that early, but Cyril Basset takes advantage of that miscue, does the cutback. Though Fornielis with the extra energy coming into the Schuler S gets by Cyril Basset once again. That was a little bit scary going into the first corner, but plenty of respect given to one another there. Ahead of them, Carlos Machiotis has taken his second attack boost. So Teemu Sarkkinen, Roni Kronpush, the only drivers with attack boosts remaining. Roni has 30 seconds left on his first one before he can take a second. And Teemu Sarkkinen, about 2 seconds behind Carlos Machiotis now, has one remaining for him to take. So winding down on the attack boosts now. These drivers need to take them soon because they are not allowed to take them on the final lap of the race. Or maybe, I think it's the final 2 laps of the race. They will. There we go. Teemu Sarkkinen has just taken his. So Roni Kronpush, the last driver of the season to capture an attack boost. We will see him do that, I expect, in the next lap or 2. Adam Brown, as we approach the final 5 laps of the race, remains in first position. He's about 5 seconds up the road. No, oh my goodness. Adam Brown is 11 seconds ahead of Carlos Machiotis in second position. A commanding win as they run on offer for Adam Brown. Carlos Machiotis in second from Teemu Sarkkinen. Both of these drivers well ahead of Nico Pantola in fourth position. Teemu Sarkkinen about 5 seconds behind Carlos Machiotis, so about 2 seconds off of Teemu Sarkkinen. Harold Fornielis with that great fight on the previous lap. Cyril Basset behind him. Mika Sarkkinen behind Cyril Basset, Roni Kronpush, and Magic Run at the back behind Mika Sarkkinen. The front of that car still looking a little bit rough. Could have a fight here for 7th position as the laps wind down. 5 laps, well, 4 in this lap remaining for Adam Brown in the 2026 season.
Yeah, the gaps are not that huge as well, including the the times. We see Fornielis still trying to catch up to Nico Pantola, which will give a great advantage to them for the team's championship, but he's trying to hold on.
Yeah, this lead by Adam is just insane. I think this is the biggest lead I can recall coming to the end of a race.
Oh yeah.
In any E-Challenge event, I don't remember anyone having ever finished more than 4 or 5 seconds ahead. Maybe Gabber or Imran took a couple wins by 5 or 6 seconds, but Adam is extending as the race winds down while Carlos has attack boost. He's got a minute remaining on his. So looking at Adam now, no cars in sight as he crosses the line to start the 33rd lap, and he's 12.2 seconds ahead. Absolutely bananas performance by Adam Brown. We had the energy meters up about a lap or so ago, and he was still fine on energy. Now watching Cyril behind Harold Fornielis here, neither of them with attack boost. A little bit naughty by Harold snaking across the racetrack before he finally chooses the inside line here. Cyril Basset, heroic. Cyril is so good on the brakes. Gets the car stopped, and Harold Fornielis positions the car perfectly, just parks the car right on the racing line.
He has been
nowhere for Cyril to go to carry speed.
Yeah, he has been doing this for the both races, and he has been doing this perfectly. And I want to quickly mention that Adam Brown started at the 10th position. He didn't even start at the pole position, which is crazy.
No, he didn't. Yeah, from 10th. So effectively back of the grid all the way up to the lead. And now 12 seconds ahead of Carlos Machiotis. He has started at the 34th lap. Cyril Basset now once again in the slipstream coming down the main straightaway behind Harold Fornielis. He would really like to swipe a top 5 out of this event. Plenty of overspeed here. We know how good he is on the brakes. Fully overlapped, now fully ahead of Harold Fornielis. Fornielis late on the brakes. drives the car down to the apex, but Cyril Basset now superior power. He'll be alongside on the left coming into this corner. It'll compromise Fornieles' entry. Cyril Basset might just get the cut back here on the exit of the left-hander coming out of the Schuler S. Oh, but Fornieles so good on the power, a little bit of wheel spin. This is Cyril's opportunity. Fornieles goes defensive on the left side of the racetrack. Cyril Basset, can he get the car stopped? Cuts across the race. Oh, looked like he was going to cut across the racetrack and make an early entry into the final corner. Nicely done on the power, both of them on the ragged edge of adhesion with the throttle. Cyril Basset swipes that position coming into the final lap. He needs to go defensive all the way into the first corner. He's so good off the final corner. I don't think Fornieles has an attack, though we switched away. Looks like they're side by side. It looked like one of them was losing control going into the first corner, and I see there's a big gap between the two of them on the map. But here, we'll focus on Adam Brown. Plenty of juice. He's going to use the last electron out of that battery as he comes across the line for a commanding win in E-Challenge. Adam Brown crosses the line, waiting for Carlos Machioides, this season's champion. Give us a wave, Carlos. Second position in the feature, champion for the MRC E-Challenge season in 2026. 12.5 seconds behind Adam Brown. Teemu Sarkkinen on the podium. Brilliant race for him. Nico Patola comes across the line in fourth position, and we look back to see who's going to take fifth. Will it be Gerard Fornieles or Cyril Basset? Oh, Cyril Basset. Cyril Basset finishes just behind Fornieles. I think Fornieles ran out of energy just ahead of him, and it looks like I think Cyril Basset was into the barrier while they were fighting into the first corner on the previous lap. Yeah, Fornieles did get the position. Magic comes across in ninth position behind Mika Sarkkinen, and I believe that is all the cars we have remaining on track. The two of them dive for the runoff area. Yeah, brilliant race.
Yeah.
So there we go. I guess round out your thoughts while we wait for these drivers to get to the podium. Adam had energy remaining. He's just now getting some help. So Adam left some on the table there. Your thoughts, Adol?
It was a clean race compared to the other races. The driving quality was top-notch. I was not expecting this level of driving, to be honest. Like, they are all experienced drivers, but we all make mistakes. But at today's race, it was fantastic. We saw some contacts, we saw some crashes, but they were not that big. So, entertaining race, great quality of racing, and great broadcasting. Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I have nothing to add. Brilliant race from all of our competitors. There we see Teemu Sarkkinen joining the podium, our makeshift podium right there at the start-finish line. Adam Brown, fantastic event for him. Shows up for the final round of the season and
he dominates it.
And dominates.
Total domination.
Daylights out of everyone. So brilliant win in the sprint and the feature for Adam Brown. Sweeps the event ahead of Carlos Machioides in second, the 2026 season champion. Ahead of Teemu Sarkkinen, a brilliant podium position for him. Teemu, who's not gotten that many results this season, took advantage of the inverted grid, stayed out of trouble, and kept the car at the front when there was scrapping behind them. Nico Patola there in fourth. Gerard Fornieles takes back fifth position from Cyril Basset with a good fight in the closing laps. Cyril Basset in sixth, Roni Kronpusch seventh. Mika Sarkkinen finishes in eighth position ahead of Magic and Ian Ma. In his E-Challenge debut, 12 laps down, saw him have a pretty nasty crash in the about halfway through the race, but does stick it out for the end, and we'll get credit for an event 12 laps off the lead there in 10th position. All right, we will take
I want to quickly mention before we go.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So as we can see, Adam Brown fastest lap is 47.3, and the second fastest lap closest to him is nearly a second off the pace, which is crazy. He's nearly a second faster than the second fastest person in the track, and he still had energy in the end of the race.
Yeah, incredible, brilliant show by Adam Brown here in a one-off performance for E-Challenge.
Yeah.
So hats off to him. And, of course, Carlos Machioides. We will take a break for just a moment, give our drivers a chance to pile into the commentary waiting room, and then we'll have a few interviews and then round out our season. We'll be back in just a moment. We are back, and we have a few drivers to interview. First, we will pull Adam Brown into the commentary box, have a few words with him, and then we'll get to Carolus and Timo Sarkkinen. Adam, my goodness.
Welcome, Adam.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was quite ready for that. You put on a commanding performance today.
Oh, I don't think I was ready for that either. I'm very, very happy with that.
As you should be. So we, Adal and I, were pretty well convinced during the sprint race when you were scrapping with Carolus that you were over your energy budget, and then we were surprised to see the both of you even. I mean, it seems like you figured out, Adal said this, that you figured out exactly, perfectly where on the racetrack you should be lifting and conserving and where you should be braking. You perfectly maximized it. I mean, how much practice and testing did you do to get that precise?
I didn't do as much as you would think because I got a lot of pointers from Nico. He had done a few laps before I did some laps, and he sort of told me where he was lifting off, and it was just turned out to be the total right place. It was a bit different with the rear wheel drive car. I had to work that out for myself, but yeah, it was a lot of help from Nico to get that right.
Yeah, also, Adam, as I told you some time ago, your name translates to the man in Turkish, and you were the man today. So, what about your setup? Were your setup any different from others? As you know, did you do anything differently? What about it?
Again, I got it from Nico. It was he based it off a setup that was used last season, I believe, and it wasn't a huge amount different, but again, so Nico was a big massive help for me this round. Well,
congratulations to you then.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations, Adam. Just a masterful performance, showing up for the final event and then sweeping it. Since you know you're so good at it now, if there's a 2027 season, can we anticipate a full campaign?
Well, it's difficult because I was talking to Sobis mid race. He was asking why I didn't do this season, because I do really enjoy doing this, but it's the rugby. It's the Six Nations during this time of year, and I will be more likely to go out to the pub to watch the rugby with my mates than practice for this.
That's fair.
Well, fair enough. Once again, congratulations to you. Thank you for joining and putting on that performance today. That was a joy for us to watch. Adam Brown, everyone, thank you very much for joining us in the booth, and thanks for putting on a good show, Adam.
Thank you.
Next, we have Carolus Machioidis. Carolus, to finish first you must finish, and I think that's how your season has been. You have arrived. You have put on strong performances. You looked strong enough today that even if Imran had shown up, I think you had a shot to do it on talent. But you are the 2026 MRC E-Challenge champion. Tell us about it.
Thank you. Though I think you are thinking a bit too highly. Look at Adam's pace. I would suspect Imran would have been at a similar pace. But lucky for me that Imran didn't join, although it's always nice to have more people. And Imran was amazing this season, just like in previous ones. But it was a fun season overall. I really enjoyed it.
And we enjoyed watching you. It looked like in both races, the sprint and the feature, your game, your strategy was to just manage your pace, to manage the car, and you weren't quite as quick as Adam, but you looked inch perfect every lap. Talk us. Did you know going into the feature that you were going to be the champion and you could afford to just manage, or how did you approach the event today?
Actually, no, I was joking to Adam. We were in voice chat that he came to hinder my championship because initially I thought this last round also counts into the how do I say, not deduction, forgiveness. Well, like the worst round points don't get counted, but apparently this is not for the last round. So lucky me. But yeah, overall I was driving thinking that I need to gain, I thought, 56 points, which is massive. And Nico was already saying after a sprint, good job, Adam. You ruined Sovis's chances to the championship. But so yeah, I was driving with that in mind, and just trying to manage my race. Although strangely, I was burning my tires a bit during both sprint and feature. I think I was practicing at a lower environmental temperature, so I didn't account for track temperature, but it went well overall.
Careless, I want to just say that congratulations to you. You did a great job today. You drove safe, you drove fast, you did everything right. You said at the last round's interview you were happy with the second place, and so I gotta ask that: were you expecting to be the champion at the end of the finale?
No. As I said, I thought the points gap is massive.
Oh, so when did you realize you were going to be champion?
After the sprint race, one of the JPs said that I am the provisional champion.
Oh.
And I was still like 50-50, thinking whether they're correct or did they forget about the points forgivens. So I was like 50-50, but they just kept essentially reassuring that, well, after the finish, the feature race finish, and Jonathan said that only the first 4 rounds count towards that.
Oh.
So that's when they sealed the deal.
Oh yeah, I bet you were surprised. And congratulations to you once again. We hope to see you in 2027 if there's one in 2027. Yeah, congratulations to you again.
Thank you. And I hope there is 2027 season. This is so much fun.
Yeah, I hope as well.
Thank you, Careless. Once again, congratulations on a great event and a championship. Careless Matriotis, 2026 season, 2026 MRC E-Challenge champion. We'll pull a couple more drivers in the box and ask some quick questions, and then we'll have a quick chat with Michael Malik, and then we'll cap off our season. Cyril Bisset, Mika Sarkinen, welcome to the booth. We'll have we got a few questions for you guys. First for you, Cyril. You've shown pace the entire season and had some bad luck here and there, but today, like, you had pace and you had a great fight, and you were so much fun to watch. Podium in the sprint race, some late dives. You were by far the most fun driver to watch on the brakes. Tell us about your event.
Well, thank you. I did have a good bit of fun today. It looks like I was braking later than most people. Sometimes that wasn't always as effective because I locked up the rears a bit. But yeah, it was really nice. On the other hand, I was a bit slower exiting corners in general, so I had to try and catch the slipstream as much as I could to keep with the people in front. And yeah, really nice races today, and I had a nice little battle with Fornielis at the end. Unfortunately, I completely missed my braking T1 at the last lap, so I lost the place. But it was a nice evening.
In the sprint race, you I don't remember which lap it was, but you got 2 positions down the front straight, and then a pass on the brakes in the first corner. The pass on the brakes in the first corner, we weren't convinced it was intentional, but talk us through that. Coming out of the final corner with the extra boost, and then jumping on the brakes for the first corner and swiping 3 positions.
Yeah, that was half intentional, I say. I did have the more inertia, if you will, more momentum from the boost. I just got about at the level of the 2 cars in front of me, so I went 3 wide with them to try and pass. I got a bit of throttle back to get past them, and I saw Yasin was a bit wide into the hairpin, so I braked just as usual, I'd say, but toward the inside. And to be honest, when I approached the apex, I thought I was going to hit him, but fortunately he saw me and left just enough space. So 3 places, I take that.
And
Well,
Mika,
congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Mika, you also had an exciting feature race. You had an exciting sprint race and an exciting feature. You had a good battle going on there in the feature that came undone. Looked like it was a little bit of wheel spin that pitched you into the barrier. We thought for sure that your car was cooked, but it was only cosmetic, and you lived to fight all the way to the end of the feature. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, that particular incident, it was a bit of my fault. It was unlucky. I got some wheel spin and Cyril was just too close and he couldn't avoid me. So, unfortunately, he touched me a little and that sent me to the wall. Well, if it wasn't for that, I could have probably kept running behind in the end because we were so tight in the end. But our strategy for the race, for the start, was pretty well made. We had a strategy with them that, because I was starting at the front, and we were aiming to keep the MRC guys behind us for the teams championship, and we knew that Sufor is going to be right there. So I tried to take my best start as possible, and we tried maybe boxing Ronnie in a little bit, so them can get past me, and we can just I can hold off others when he gets away. And luckily, Tem got a very good start, and he got inside of me, and then I was just driving a very defensive line into T1, and we actually managed to 1-2 from the opening corner, so it was very much fun at the start.
Yeah, speaking of Teams Championship, you did the Provisional Teams Championship. We have that sheet in front of us, and Zafar Alice are in position too. So your strategy to try to take a points haul and take advantage of the lower participation from the MRC team today did boost you up to second position over them. So a strong performance on the season.
Yeah, that was our main goal, to finish as high as possible on the teams championships. And of course, as we saw, Yes Motorsports and all those names who are driving for them, we know that we might not match them, but at least we got the P2, and it was a good fight until the end.
A good fight indeed, and congratulations to the two of you for second position against a lot of very strong teams. You put in the time, you were here for every event, you got consistent results, and it's culminating in a second position. So congratulations to you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
That is Mika Sarkinen and Cyril Bisset. We'll have a few words with Michael Malik, who is in the commentary booth with us. Michael, just round out your thoughts on the season, and then I think we'll wrap up the broadcast and look forward to next year. Fantastic. I'll say that we also would like to see higher participation, but this is also a manageable number of cars for us in the booth. So it is an appropriate amount of action and excitement. Thrilled to have more cars, but there was never any shortage of action on track.
Action,
so yeah, plenty of action.
So Michael, I want to say thank you for your efforts, your innovations. It was a top-notch level. And you cannot see these levels of innovation in any other type of sim racing. So congratulations to you as well. Thank you for your improvements on the tracks, on the visual things, on everything. And also I want to quickly mention something. As we interviewed the drivers, there were no hard feelings on everybody. There were some contact, there were some crashes. The driving level was top level, and the behaviors of the drivers were top level as well. No hard feelings intended, everybody. So I want to say thank you to the drivers as well, and I hope it will be the case. It is the same case for every other league. And this behavior, I think, shows the quality of that's racing in the E-Challenge. Hopefully.
With holding these races together and managing all the important stuff, and as well as with stewarding. So thank you especially to my friend head steward your stuff. And last but not least, thanks to all drivers who believe in this series and are on the grid every time, even if it's very few of us. You guys deliver a great racing action, and it keeps you motivating to keep going.
I want to second what you said, Michael, and also from a driver's perspective, I was driving on the series 2 years ago, and I had no idea how much of a thing that was going on behind the screen. The people who are watching us may not know what is going on behind, but there are lots of effort, there are lots of time put into this boat, which makes it top quality.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is indeed a huge effort from all the people involved to bring an event of this quality for everyone to watch. So once again, thank you very much, Michael, for all of your effort. And I think we're ready to round it out now. Adol, I'll let you give your final thoughts on the season, and then we'll send everyone off.
Thank you, Travis. All right. I think it was a fantastic season in every aspect. I think it was a revolutionary season for many things for Leap Force. The rain, the track improvements. So the last track, especially this track, it was really nice to see different things, different innovations. It's what makes makes E-Challenge different from any other series. I want to thank you to everybody, the viewers, the people who watch, drivers, the people behind the screen. If we take out one perspective, one thing behind, it will all fall apart. So we need everybody, and thank you, everybody. It was my first time commentating, coming into the commentating, and this series, which I raced at, as I said. And I'm glad first commentating experience was here. So I'm glad, I'm really happy, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure sharing the booth with you. That is just about all from us. We have a lot of people to thank. I want to thank you, Michael Malik, for organizing the event, for the car, and also the rain effect. The rain effect in the previous round was crazy. Nobody expected that. It was so good. If you missed the fourth round and the rain effects, definitely go back and watch that VOD on YouTube, because the rain effects are so cool. Tutu the dog for this mod, the Norisring track mod, looks absolutely brilliant. He's put into so much effort to make it look as realistic as it does. So we thank him for his effort and allowing us to use all the time and energy that he has put into it to make a brilliant broadcast. New Dimension Racing for all of their support. The JPs, Jonathan Palmer and Jonathan Provost, for also helping with the organization. Yaroslav Donnelly, Tim Donater, Darius Brzezinskis, and anyone else who earlier in the season helped with the organizing, the stewarding, the course cars. We want to thank all of them for their time and participation. The team here at Sim Broadcast, Pete, who unfortunately was not able to make it into the booth with us today, puts in so much time. Mo as well, working the cameras and working on software. Karen Redman, it was thrilling sharing the box with him, and you as well, Adol Joshkin, Shibin Liu.
Thank you.
Also did commentary with us earlier in the season. Could not have done it without all of you. All of the drivers who have participated, you make the event as much as anyone else does, so we thank you for your participation. And most of all, to the people who watch, all of our viewers, thank you very much for your patronage and for supporting Sim Broadcasts. We enjoy broadcasting, and we get to do it because you watch it. So thank you all very much for tuning in. And finally,
one last thing, Travis.
Before we finish off, just a moment, Adol, we want to congratulate Carlos Machiotis and Yes Motorsports on their championship in the 2026 season. Adol, your final thought.
I'm not going to give a final thought, but it was today was Forniela's birthday, so happy birthday to him. I forgot to mention. So happy birthday to you, man.
There we go. Happy birthday, Gerard Fornielis. And with that, we will sign off. Wherever you are, be safe, be well. Thank you once again for joining. We will see you next time. Goodbye.